Hi there. I'm Stefani. Come practice some yoga with me. We're going to do a little bit of a mini flow. And then towards the end, we might go upside down a little bit. Don't worry. I'm going to walk you through it, and I'm going to give you plenty of options. So you need a mat. You could have some water nearby if you need to. If you have a block, that would be awesome if you could grab it. You could also use a towel or two because we're going to put it underneath our lower back later. And this is just a great yoga flow and some nice yoga stretching that you can do anytime, but especially maybe early morning when you get up or at night, maybe before bed, because it's going to end with some delicious stretching. And also it'll just kind of wake you up a little bit. So you can always do the flowy parts maybe in the morning and then the ending part in the evening. You do whatever you want. You do you. So we're going to start in child's pose. So your knees are apart, your toes are together. Sink your hips back. Walk your hands out. If you're new to yoga, this is the pose. This is where you want to go whenever you need a rest, a break, something's just not feeling good. You just sink your hips back, walk your hands forward, pull your shoulders back, breathe. You can put your forehead on your mat. If you don't like the floor where you are, just don't put your head down all the way. And then start to take long, deep breaths in through your nose and out through the back of your throat. And if that is new to you, then the most important thing is that you just breathe. If you want to practice Ujjayi breathing in through the nose and out through the back of your throat, just imagine that it sounds like Darth Vader or the ocean. It's as if you have a mirror in front of your mouth that you're trying to fog up, but with your mouth closed, so you can't really fog it up. Roll up onto your hands and knees. Bring your knees in underneath your hips. Your wrists are under your shoulders. Spread your shoulder blades. So you just want to make sure you're not sinking down into your shoulders. Spread them. Press your shoulders back. And then press the crown of your head forward. From here, take a deep breath in. Look up, arch your back. And exhale. Look down, round. Tuck your tailbone. Inhale, look up and arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, look up and arch. Exhale, round. And then just start to move your ribs around. Again, this is one of those poses, exercises, stretches that are great to do early morning. It will just wake everything up without waking everyone up. And then reverse those rib circles. Come back to the center. Tuck your toes. Sit back on your heels. Stretch out your toes. Just relax and breathe. Just breathing deeply will help wake you up. It also will help put you to sleep, depending on when you're doing it, how deeply you're doing it. Release those toes, wiggle them, scrunch them, crunch them. Circle your ankles. Really, you're circling your feet to circle your ankles. Reverse. And then just make sure those fingers are spread nice and wide. Reset everything, knees under hips. Tuck your toes and press your hips up and back. Come into downward dog. And as soon as you get there, start to pedal your heels. So you're taking a walk in place, breathing, especially when you're upside down. Relax your shoulders, press them away from your ears. So a good way to really practice relaxing your shoulders is to take a deep breath in and shrug your shoulders. And then you exhale and release them. So it looks like this. Take a deep breath, shrug, and then exhale, release. You don't have to release dramatically, but I like to do it for effect, and it feels really nice. You can just release slowly if you'd like. And then you're spreading those shoulder blades, spreading your fingers, pressing your tailbone up to the ceiling. If you need to bend your knees, please bend your knees. And then come up high on your toes and roll forward into plank. Adjust your feet, shimmy them back if needed. Your shoulders are over your wrists. Your neck is nice and long. Press back, downward dog. Press your heels down. Lift your toes up. This is one of the most delicious calf stretches. So when I first started doing it, I could not lift my toes up. So don't worry, you will get there. Just keep practicing. And if you can't straighten your legs, that's okay. You can still keep them bent and still work on lifting your toes up. You're still going to feel it in your calves. Come up again onto your toes. Might need to walk back a little. Roll forward. Plank. And then press back, downward dog. Walk your feet forward all the way to the front of your mat. Keep your feet about hips distance apart, maybe a little bit more narrow. And then just hang. So grab your elbows. You can sway if you'd like. Keep your knees bent. Keep them soft. I always see people put their legs straight and this is as low as they can go and they're really just straining their back, but you want to bend and then try to lengthen your spine to fold over. And then release your hands. You can either walk your hands up your legs, especially if it's early morning and your back is really tight. Or, of course, you can just roll up. Reach your arms up. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale. Reach arms up. Grab onto your right wrist and reach over to the left. So you can bring your feet together a little bit if you'd like. Press your hips to the right. So it looks like this. You want to keep everything in one plane. So try not to let your shoulder come forward and cover your face. Open it up. Come back to the center. Grab your left wrist. Reach over. And come back to the center. Fold forward. Look up halfway. Flat back. Press your hips back. Press the crown of your head forward. Press your shoulders back. Fold. Bend your knees. Plant your hands. Spread those fingers. Step back into plank. Chaturanga. You can either stay on your toes or come to your knees. Bend your elbows. Keep your abs engaged. Try not to just collapse down. Untuck your toes. Press up, upward dog. Roll your shoulders back. And press back, down dog. Pull your abs in. Tuck your toes. If you need to bend your knees, please do. Press your hips back. Come up high on your toes. Bend your knees. Look forward. Step or float your feet between your hands. Look up halfway. Fold. Roll up. Reach your arms up. Bring your hands to your heart and fold. Now, I told you this was a mini flow. Look up halfway. You can press against your shins or the floor, but we're still going to get moving. Fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back, plank, chaturanga, toes or knees straight down. Press up, upward dog. Press back. Down dog. Come up high on toes, deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step or float your feet. Look up halfway. Fold. Roll up. Reach arms up. Bring hands to your heart and fold. Look up halfway. Fold. Bend the knees. Step back into plank. Chaturanga. Make sure those elbows are over your wrists. Untuck your toes. Press up. Press back. Downward dog. Plant your left heel down as far as it will go and lift your right leg straight back. Relax shoulders. Maybe take a little slight bend in those elbows. And then open your hips. Lift your leg up higher. Drop your right shoulder so it's not opening as your hips open. Then bend that leg. Drop your heel back so you're still opening your hips. Pointing that knee up to the ceiling. Straighten the leg. Bring it down. Plant your right heel. Lift the left leg straight back. Open your hips. Actively press that left shoulder down. Then bend the leg. Drop your heel back. Straighten it. Bring it down. Move forward. Plank. Chaturanga. Press up. Upward dog. Press back. Downward dog. Lift your right leg. Step it forward. All the way to the front, making sure your right ankle is underneath your right knee. Come up onto your fingertips. Sink your hips down low. And then turn your left heel down. And if your right booty just came over to the right, bring it back towards the center by pressing the outside of your left foot into the floor. Reach arms up. Warrior one. So you're pulling your right hip back, pressing your left hip forward, sinking down low so your knee is directly over your ankle. Reach arms up. Make sure you're breathing. Bring your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, you're going to start to fold over. Pull your right hip back. Press your left hip forward. Roll the outside of that left foot into the floor and keep bending your right leg. And just drop your head down. And release. Reach your arms all the way up. Bring them back down. Step back plank. Chaturanga. Bend elbows. Press up. Press back. Lift that left leg. Step it forward. Sink your hips down. Come onto your fingertips. And then turn your right heel down. Press the outside of that right foot into the floor. Come up. Reach arms up, or if you need to, make some adjustments first. Pull your left hip back. Press your right hip forward. And then make sure that left hip isn't sticking up in the air. Bring hands behind you. Interlace fingers. Squeeze shoulder blades. Lift your chest and fold. As you're folding, try to square off those hips even more. Drop your head down. And come back up. Release the hands. Reach arms up. Bring your hands down. Step back plank. Chaturanga. Press up. Press back, down dog. Lift the right leg. Step forward. We're building onto that. Turn your left heel down. Reach your arms up, warrior one. Hands come behind you. Interlace fingers, squeeze your shoulder blades and fold over. And come back up. Release your hands. Take that left foot, turn it forward. So you're coming up high on your toes. Take a deep breath in, pull your abs in, push off, bring the left knee up. If you staggered your foot up, that's okay. Just try not to next time. So the more you pull those abs in and breathe, the less you will stagger. Take your arms out to the sides. Flex that left foot. Take your left arm under. Cross your left leg over. You can either wrap your foot around your calf or you can press it up against it. Just make sure you're sitting down low. You're squeezing legs. Your knees are facing forward. Mine are falling over. And you're actually sitting. And then you want to try to keep your shoulders over your hips. Unwind. Reach the arms up. Bring your left knee up. Now this is where if you have a block or a water bottle or a stack of books, you might want to use it if you need to bring the floor closer to you. So send that left leg back, half moon. Your right fingertips come down. If you have a block, you're going to put your hand lightly on the block, any level that you need it to be on. I don't know why I'm falling over. Phew. Open your hips and engage that left foot. Reach your left arm up. So you want to keep your legs strong and your foot strong. You don't just want everything hanging out. Keep everything active. Press your left hip back. Take a deep breath. Pull abs in. And when you exhale, bend your right leg, step far back onto your left foot, and then take up as much of your mat as possible. Hips are directly under shoulders. Reach your right arm up and over. Make sure that right knee is not rolling in. So just push it to the right. Wiggle your right toes. Press the outside of your left foot into the floor. I know there's a lot of things to do here. Keep breathing. Keep reaching. And then straighten your right leg. Reach the arms out. Reach forward. Stay in this plane. Try not to fold over. And then reach the right hand down. Left arm up. So you're pressing your hips towards me. Trying not to fold over. And then you're reaching that hand up. And then circle your left hand down. Bend the right leg. Step far back into plank. Chaturanga. Press up. And press back. Lift your left leg. Step it forward. Turn the right heel down. Reach your arms up. Warrior one. And bring hands behind you. Interlace fingers. Squeeze shoulder blades and fold. Release the hands. Reach them up. Turn your right foot forward. Turn your hips forward. Deep breath in. Pull abs in. Exhale. Push off. Your right knee comes up. Open the arms. Did you make it? Right arm goes under. Wrap. Right leg crosses high over your left. Sink down low. Straighten everything out. Meaning you want to bring your knees forward so they're directly in front of you. Shoulders over hips. And then unwind. Bring your right knee up. Flex your right foot. And then send your right leg back. Left fingertips come to the floor. Block. Books. Reach your right arm up. So you're pressing your right hip back. Flex your right foot. Keep reaching your right arm up. And then take a deep breath in. When you exhale, bend your left leg. Step far back onto your right foot. Take up your whole mat. Reach your left arm up and over. Sink down low. Keep that left knee over your left ankle. Reach back. You can wrap your right arm behind you if you'd like and grab inside of that left leg. Just breathe. And then straighten out your left leg. Reach the arms out. Reach forward. Bring your left hand down. Right arm up. Reach. Imagine I am pulling the right side of your body up towards the ceiling. And then circle your right hand down. Bend your left leg. Step far back into plank. Chaturanga. Press up and press back. One more time all the way through. Lift your right leg. Step it forward. Turn your left heel down. Reach your arms up. Bring hands behind you. Interlace fingers. Squeeze shoulder blades. Fold over. And release your hands. Come up. Reach those arms up. Turn your left foot to face the front. Push off. Your left knee comes up. Flex your foot. Take the arms out. Left arm goes under. Wrap them and wrap your left leg over. Unwind. Bring your left knee up. Send it back. Half moon. Reach that left arm up. Strong. If you find that you're wobbling or falling over, like I just was, straighten everything a little bit stronger. Deep breath in. Exhale, bend your right leg. Step far back onto your left foot. Reach your right arm over. And then straighten the right leg. Reach arms out. Reach forward. Triangle. And then circle your left hand down. Bend the right leg. Step back, plank. Chaturanga. Press up. Press it back. Lift your left leg. Step forward. Turn the right heel down. Reach arms up. Bring hands behind you. Interlace fingers. Squeeze shoulder blades. Fold. Remember to pull that left hip back. And release. Reach arms up. Turn your right foot forward. Push off. Right knee comes up. Arms are out. Right arm under. Wrap. Right leg over. Sit. Just keep focusing on one spot. And release. Unwind. Send your right leg all the way back. Half moon. Reach your right arm up. And then bend your left leg. Step far back. Reach the left arm up and over. Straighten out your left leg. Reach arms out. Reach forward. Triangle. And then circle your right hand down. Bend your left leg. Step back. Plank. Chaturanga. Press up. Press back. Down dog. Hold it here. Take a few deep breaths. Pedal your heels. You can come up and down onto your toes a few times. And then bend the knees. Untuck your toes. You can keep knees in close or you can open them up. Just press your hips back. Stretch your arms forward. And then walk your hands up. Roll your shoulders back. You can move your head around. Now, if you would like to join me for going upside down, awesome. If you don't have to. There are so many ways you can go upside down. And going upside down is really fun. It just invigorates you and energizes you. And if you're scared to do it, you can, of course, always just not do it. Or you can do it on carpet. You can get some pillows. There's so many things. You can have a spotter. If you come to class, I will happily spot you. Headstands, in my opinion, are easier than forearm stands and handstands. I find it to be headstand easiest. Then it goes to handstands. Then it goes to forearm stands. Forearm is where you're literally just balancing on your forearms. Your head is not on the floor, but your head is very, very close to the floor. So there's two kinds of headstands. There's the tripod, where you're going to have your hands right here and your head on the floor. That is not my favorite, and that's not the one that I'm going to show you today. The kind I'm going to show you today is where you interlace your fingers. Now, I'm going to show you, and then you're going to do it. And if you want to go to a wall, that would be awesome. If you're concerned about your neck at all, just make sure you listen to the directions. And of course, don't do it if you have any neck issues. Okay? Get permission from your doctor first. So first of all, one thing to work on before you even start doing headstands, sorry if I mess up the word that we're doing, headstands, is to do a dolphin pose. So your knees are underneath your hips, your wrists are in line with your elbows, your fingers are spread wide, you tuck your toes, you press your hips up. And then you can practice just walking your feet forward. This is actually the perfect starting position, or the starting position for a forearm stand, where you would kick a leg up and then you'd kick up and you'd balance. But we're not going to do that one. So if you just want to practice that, go for it. But then when you're ready, your knees are underneath your hips, your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. I like to flip my hands and then spread my fingers, interlace my fingers. So I'm basically making like a cup for my head, okay? So you want to make sure your elbows don't flare out. They stay underneath your shoulders. You've got this cup right here. You're going to put the top of your head into your cup. And it's really more like between the back of my head and the top of my head. So right here, okay? And instead of pressing your head into the floor, I'm going to press my head into my hands. So there's not going to be pressure on my head pressing into the floor. So I'm going to put my head into my hands. I'm going to try to keep my neck straight, because you don't want it to look like this. That's not a straight neck, okay? You also don't want it to look like this, where you're rounding. Now, I have 2 other rules before I go up. Number 1, when you feel like you're about to fall, you can either just, come back down with your feet, or you can kind of cartwheel over to the side. If there's nothing in front of you and you're on a cushioned enough surface, then tuck and roll. Okay, but watch out for interference. Okay, so you're going to put your head into your hands, and I'm going to press into my hands. I'm going to tuck my toes under. I'm going to come up into my dolphin, but with my head on the floor. Now, if you have bobby pins at the top of your head like I do, it's not going to feel so great no matter what you're pressing into. So I could have taken those out. Now, there's a couple things. You can either do the kicking method, where you lift one leg and then you practice kicking. And of course, imagine there's a wall right there. This is the only one I can do without a wall. Okay, I'm not afraid to say it. You can also practice tucking. So you can put one leg up, you come up into a tuck, and you try to get those hips over your shoulders. And if you can balance here, you can pretty much move those legs wherever you want them to go, okay? But learning how to balance right here, in a tuck is key. So, now you don't want to stay upside down for like 10 minutes, because then, all that blood's going to be in your head. So just practice maybe going up to a wall. Just practice putting your head into your hands, going like this. You can always try to reach the wall by kicking up and just touch the wall, see where it is. You can also, if you have a friend nearby, you put one leg in their hand and then you press up into their hand. And as you start pressing, your other leg will magically come up. It really is magic, okay? It's like an equal resistance situation. So, and when you're ready, whether it's on a wall or not, you want to make sure everything is stacked. I guess when I see this video, I'll see if I'm stacked. Shoulders, hips, ankles. And then you come down and you breathe. Don't look at my hair. I don't know what's happening with it now. Okay, let's have a seat. Before we lay down and get really comfortable, we're going to do a double pigeon. Now, I love all pigeons, so if you would rather do the laying down kind of pigeon, like so, obviously do that anytime you want. But right now we're going to do the double pigeon, fire log, sitting pigeon. So you're going to take one leg, doesn't matter which one, and just put it parallel to the front of your mat, okay? So meaning you just don't want that knee to be over here or way over here. It's right there. Your knee is pretty much in line with your hip. You're going to flex your foot, and then you're going to take your other leg and stack it on top. So my knees are actually going out at a slight angle. Flexing those feet. You're going to sit up really tall. Make sure you can feel your sits bones under there. And then you can stay right here, or you can hinge forward. Whew. Now, if you need to, If this is a huge struggle or just not feeling good in any way, you can put one leg on a block like so. And then even if it's on a block, you can hinge forward and still get a really nice stretch. If all of this is uncomfortable, you can lay on the floor and do the thread the needle pose where you put one ankle over a knee, you reach through, you grab your shin, and you pull close. So you have a buffet of options here. All you can eat. So just hold here. And this pose you can do anytime. I mean, you might not want to just go straight into it like first thing in the morning, but especially in the evenings, maybe while you're watching TV, or in the morning after a few flows. Just breathe. And you can sit in this pose as long as you'd like. Just try to make it even. Unless you need more on one side. Okay, let's switch. You can lean back, roll back, stretch out those legs, reset them, stack them. Hinge forward if you'd like. Make sure you breathe through these stretches. Roll up. Unwind those legs, shake them out, and then we're going to come all the way down to the floor. If you have a block or a towel nearby, please grab it. This is not going to work, though, if you have a book. It might not feel as good, but you could try it. It just might poke you in the back. So you're going to lay all the way down, hug your knees, rock them side to side. And then let's cross your left leg over your right. Bring both knees to the right and stretch your left arm out. So you might want to move your right shoulder over to get your whole upper back on the floor. You can take your right hand, press your legs down. And then come back to the center. Unwind, rewind, bring both knees to the left. Stretch your right arm out, scoot your left shoulder over. And come back to the center. I forgot to tell you that the other option is, of course, if you have a wall, which I'm sure you do. So we're going to do a simulated legs up the wall, which is why we have our block. But if you have a wall, you can go to it. You scoot up to it to the side, and then you swing your legs up. And your back is on the floor. So you're going to take that block, if you're on your mat and you're not up against a wall, that block goes right underneath your tailbone, and then you just lift your legs up and they hang out in the air. So if you feel like you have to exert any effort, then scoot that block up or down a little bit. Press your shoulders down. You can bring your arms down by your sides. And you just let your legs hang. And if you've never done legs up the wall, either using an actual wall or using a block, it is heaven. I highly recommend it. It also helps with headaches if you're bloated. Sorry, that doesn't sound very nice, but it's the truth. Definitely headaches. You can stay like this if you'd like. And or when you're ready, you're going to bring your feet down. If you're really up against a wall, just slide your feet all the way down to one side and then scoot away from the wall. Lift your hips up to move the block out of the way. And then stretch your legs out in front. Here comes your dessert, your Shavasana. Bring your arms by your sides. Relax your feet. Close your eyes and just breathe. Start to wiggle fingers and toes. Reach your arms over your head. And hug your knees in. Roll to one side, release your knees, and rest on your bottom arm. And then use your top hand to press yourself all the way up. You can keep your eyes closed if you'd like. And just come into a comfortable seated position. And take one more deep breath in. Reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands together and to your heart. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you feel fantastic, nice and stretched and relaxed or energized. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Namaste.